Dumpster Rats, dude.
Okay, so Dumpster Rats is the opening to this video.
Okay.
Once again, back here with Harmfui, the tournament funder of the Blyatline Champions
Also fifth
tournament
place
number one.
tournament winner. For fifth place every tournament in US.
Yeah, Harmfui is really mad because he just lost the tournament right now,
Yeah, so
and
this is perfect timing to actually
yeah,
commentate.
he wants to rage cast right now to blow off some steam. So we're gonna be casting a game between Lorio, Luke the Legend, Circulo versus Corsation, Super Arn, and Arborist. And yeah, Lorio's on the Pomp, Luke is on the Reaver, and Circulo's on the Nomad. This is the first time I've actually seen Lorio on Pomp of like recasting these games.
Actually, questionable pick because I don't think I've ever seen him play Pomp in my whole entire life. So I don't.
I mean I've seen him play it before, but yeah, he doesn't play nearly as much as he plays Dryad. And then we actually have Corsation Stalker here. I think
Yeah, that's
he really only picks Stalker and SM when he's playing these tournaments, right?
yeah. Those are his main heroes and Harb too, I guess. So he has like three main DPS heroes he plays.
So Arborist is Iska,
Yeah.
who we actually just saw in that tournament as well that we were talking about. But yeah, unrelated. Um and Super Arn is just their friend. I remember questioning them, like, who is Super Arn? They had a different person. I think they had Wampa actually.
Yeah, but he decided not to show up or something. He was busy, or
Um
I don't know exactly what happened.
yeah, I don't think Wampa ended
It
up
was
showing up
last
though.
minute. It was last minute, basically.
So they do get a sub in with Super Arn, and I think there was a few problems with him actually in other games.
Yeah,
Seemed a little bit less experienced.
it looked like he was rusty and he was just getting blown up a lot of the times where he lost where he shouldn't have. But I mean, he did pretty damn good considering the players he's playing against.
Yeah, this is still in
And
the upper bracket, by the way. I should
yeah, this
mention.
is
This is like
winners.
the first or second round of the tournament, I think. So let's 3-2-1 that shit, dude.
Yeah.
3-2-1.
Boom.
Actually, 3-2-1ing before the loading screen is probably a bad idea because who knows who the hell loads faster, right?
I don't know. Long live the Reavers.
Long live
That's
the.
all I have to say.
Oh, yeah, I think you actually did load faster than me.
Oh, well, that's fine.
So, and yeah. Anyway, round one gonna start. We're playing on Well of Surgan, I should mention. And Arborist, Isco, walking out, throwing some M1s. Corsation trying to space in. Is actually already taking a lot of damage. Give him barrier. Luke the Legend gets a nice double space in. Gonna get deadly injected up. Other side to cancel it. But he doesn't cancel the other side to get the rune. And I'm not sure who got that, but I think it was a cold player. Arborist is isolated though. Gonna get boomerang stormed. Was also hit with a frost shard. Gonna get EX spaced back into his enemy's spawn. And if he's forgotten about, this could actually be really bad. But he uses space to get towards Super Arn. Corsation just trying to keep Luke the Legend off of his ranged heroes. Nice long range pull by Luke there. Translands by Arborist. And Black Dagger onto Luke. Nice X-Strike on the Arborist. He has double cast space and he spaces a little bit back. Now he's trying to 1v1 Circulo, who has no haste and is standing in the goo right now. And he's just going to go down. Lorio is trying to kill off Corsation with his Guardian Spirit, but he's not going to be able to do it in time. Even going for the swap. And actually, what happens there? Three heroes going down at the same exact time. I think it must have been a double soulbind that killed off a lot of those players. Luke the Legend has to 1v1 something that is pretty impossible for him to do. And he is popping his Vigilance, has an energy for another one. But he gets dispelled. So pretty unfortunate for him. Can't heal himself up. He will get this rune. He dodges the sleep. Gets a pull. Parries the M1. Goes for Meteor and actually has enough energy for another Vigilance here. Arn did use his EX there and throws it right into Luke, who does have a parry, but now he can't Vigilance. So he goes for the pull, kick, Drunken Haze, but doesn't decide to go for the space on it. would have been pretty dangerous to go for that. Now I'm popping his vigilance, knowing that there's no clarity, but misses his grappling chain. So
It's crazy, dude. How he's bringing this back.
no, I don't think he's gonna be able to. It is.
Oh.
I do remember this though. I remember all of this.
Yeah, dude.
Look at the like before we move our camera to see where Luke dies. I didn't get to see it. Well, I didn't get it pointed out in time anyway. There's just like a diagonal line of corpses, just straight diagonal.
Yeah, I don't even know what happened. Oh, there's some DCs going on too. It's crazy. Yeah, I think this was at the point in the tournament where everyone was lagging, dude.
No, I think the entire tournament everyone was
Well,
lagging.
no,
I
I know,
looked
but
at.
that sounds like bullshit almost to you. Like
I
everyone
looked.
said
No,
so.
I don't think it is. There's if you have enough people complaining, like I
Let's
really
look.
doubt everyone's making it up.
Arn was lagging, yeah.
No, like everyone was. I remember the game would just start freezing a lot of the time too.
Oh yeah, it was unwatchable. Like in the lower half when I was watching the games, it was actually lag.
All right, well they're gonna start. It's Luke spacing in. Corsation gonna CC Lorio before he gets tornado called, and Strakulo trying to push Arn into the corner. So Corsation's gonna have to come back, and he actually misses a lot of spells trying to help out his Alk. But Luke is winning his 1v1 versus Arborist quite well. Arbor's gonna have to move back. And X-Strike onto Arb while Corsation's using Shadow Hunt right now. I think there was a lightning arrow that ended up missing there. Kick's coming out, but it's going to get tranced by Arborist, who's really low. He gets hit by a Drunken Haze, getting spaced on, uses Frost Shard to get Luke off of him, gets hit by a Meteor, but Meteor is himself and lands a trance as well. Boomerang Storm going to be clipping Super Arn, and he actually gets CC'd up as well. While Corsation trying to set up a kill into Loria, but he has other side to dodge that Meteor. Luke is really low. Strakulo going all in, and oh my god, I remember that too. The lightning arrow actually going through the wall, the little hole in the wall there, and hitting Reaver on the other side.
Really clutch.
Yeah.
DLC mechanic, basically. Not intended, but maybe it was.
Yeah.
Actually,
No, I don't think it was intended. I don't
Yeah,
think
no
you
way in
could have
hell.
intended that. But
I honestly have to say though, it looks pretty good. Like this is a really even match, and I forgot that it was this even.
yeah, Cole or Arborist Iska was really playing well in that round though, like keeping himself up, keeping himself in it. He's getting punched left and right, and like he's bleeding. His eyes are all swollen from the punches, but he kept swinging anyway. And he kept Luke the Legend low as well, so they're still in the round. Round 3 starting. Black Dagger onto Luke. Arborist gets CC'd up with Barrier, so that's actually really bad. They could go for Arnie. Actually does get Grappling Chain. Gets single kicked. Meteor with a backstab M1 as well. 500 damage at once there. X-Strike gonna hit Arborist, but not close enough for Super Arn. And Arborist really has to defend his Alchemist here. Luke going for an ult. It's gonna land 3 strikes onto Arn, and looks like there's no barrier there.
That
So
Alec, dude, looking like me last tournament. Giving barrier for no fucking reason and dying instantly.
who did he give barrier to? I didn't see.
He gave it. I don't even remember. He just died. Like I think he gave it to Quir or something.
He might have just given it to himself, and then like Luke just had ult after.
I'm
it,
pretty
so.
sure he gave barrier to someone else, and then he got spaced on.
At the start.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
He really got dumpstered at the start. That definitely did happen. He gave it to Arborist, and he got CC'd.
Looking like
That's
a
what
US
happened.
player. Oh
Well,
man.
Black Dagger to Luke.
And
Arn
this
typing DC actually. So Lorio, #1 lagger. We talked about this last time.
Yeah, #1 lagger in the world.
He just lags. I always thought that he was like faking because of how he would just like run into the spawn. I always think, oh, he's just trying to be dramatic or something. But then I'd look at his
Reset,
ping,
it's like
yeah,
200%.
200% reset. How is it? How could it even be more than 100%? Anyway, Arborist It does pop his trance, but nobody hits it. He does get a nice fire arrow though. Frost Shard onto Circula, but he has haste, so he just dispels it off. Arbor's still put in the corner, but Circula's having a really hard time getting the solo kill, so he just CCs him up. Going for the X-Strike over the pillar, not going to hit anything. Circula with Deadly Inject while Crustacean going for ult. Iska's still trying to find his healer. Gets meteored over the wall. And double kicked. Does have an ult. Lands a trance on the last hit that would have killed him. Luke's going to have to space that ult. And gets a nice parry onto Crustacean as soon as he leaves that tornado. Arbor is still really low. Finally finds his healer. And Circula going for a big Boomerang Fury. Can he kill anyone here? Arborist gets a nice trance. Once again, Barrier getting CC'd, and Luke was chasing Crustacean that entire time from the looks of it, so he finally finds Crustacean, who was pretty low. It's pretty surprising Crustacean lived that long.
Yeah, he was fighting pretty damn well, but they were just low at the beginning. That was just a really bad start, and they couldn't come back from it at all.
Yeah.
Like, there's no way to come back from that, pretty much.
Iska got cornered. No, I don't know if I'd say there's no way. I've seen some amazing stuff happen.
Well, they had no energy, no HP. It was like a really bad opening, I guess. It looked like a no way to win scenario, but who knows?
Arborist, dude. Always fights his way back in. Fake Arborist.
Yeah, the fake Arborist is the best Arborist, actually.
Weaken onto Crustacean. Black Dagger onto Luke. Rune gonna spawn. Quare will get it. Spaces towards Circulu. It doesn't look like he has haste. No, he does. And, oh no, that's his medallion, I see. Okay, yep. So now he's popping his second haste, moving towards mid, ends up missing that X-Strike, almost hitting Crustacean. Sluggish Bomb onto Arbor, so he's going to have a hard time hitting things. And Crustacean getting locked on his Black Dagger, did land a Meteor into L'Oreal. Super Arn kind of in between two DPS right here. And Woodstrike's going to knock him away into the hands of Reaver, who gets a nice EX kick, but a really good EX cloak from Crustacean's going to save up Super Arm there. Yeah, he was locked on his heels, so he definitely could have went down. And Super Arm pops his barrier, but it gets broken off immediately. Crustacean still keeping L'Oreal CC'd up, and he goes for an X-Strike, almost getting that kill, but Super Arm is going to be the one that ends up going down. L'Oreal even killing off Crustacean. L'Oreal was about to die to that Slice and Dice, but it just wasn't enough, and he had other side to escape. And when I looked over at Super Arn, he was in between two Worm DPS with no HP.
Yeah, and he was just trying to pillar, but he was kind of failing it a little bit. I think he should have ran back further into his spawn, maybe, instead of going next to the pillar.
It is really hard to pillar as Alk, because your heals are such long casts that...
And Nomad, too, can just snipe you.
Oh, yeah, that too. Even Reaver, with like his kicks, he can kick around that pillar really easily. Anyway, Reaver kicking in. X-Strike not going to hit Crustacean, who was given the barrier. Rune going to spawn, going for the tornado on it, but Crustacean doesn't get hit by that. It does get the Rune. Circula going for a haste, and Crustacean wants to go on him immediately after. Gets one puncturing strike and goes for the Black Dagger. Now trying to kill L'Oreal, but gets CC'd up after that. He does have a lot of energy farmed up, though. Didn't use any energy yet. And he's actually getting so much damage from the Reaver and the Soulbind at the same time. He's given barrier. Use the Soccer Cloak while Circulo and Luke move aggressively towards Super Arn, but he ends up getting pushed behind the pillar, so it ends up being pretty good for him. Nice Boomerang Storm attempted, but isn't going to do too much damage. CC onto Super Arn. Arbor's is going to use that Boomerang the Trance towards his healer. X-Strike not going to hit anything. Neither will the Grappling Chain. And Crustacean's really low to L'Oreal. He's just been on L'Oreal the entire game. Luke spacing in, given other side, I think that interrupted his parry, actually. He's one hit from death, and he's actually moving so far back, trying to bait Crustacean. Two ults just whiffing from cold there. But Circulo's still locked in, and actually he can't escape. He just can't go anywhere. Luke didn't want to be in that area because the goo was on the floor, and I think he got body blocked by Crustacean, so he couldn't escape that corner either.
And Crustacean has really good movement. I like watching him dodge everything, and he's just in the whole game. But I'm also kind of watching the Alk, and his positioning is kind of off to me. You know what I mean? It just seems a little kind of just randomly out in a position where you could just die.
I think he was alright that time.
Yeah, but because he had like 6 ice arrows sitting on him.
Well, hey, man. Whatever it takes.
I guess that's how you win. That's how you win, is you need 16 ice arrows.
He's baiting the ice arrows. He's baiting them perfectly.
Baiting his own
teammate. from Luke. Gets a nice double kick. Corsation actually 1v1ing him for a bit, but will space towards the rune and does get it. His barrier has run out though, and he's taking a lot of damage. Luke taking a lot of damage as well. Gonna have to space out of that fire arrow. X-Strike onto Arn, and Arvis is gonna space no matter what. And actually, Luke, I didn't see how he got so low, but it must have been from Corsation.
Yeah, Shadow Hunt got him.
Yeah, that's what I thought. So Shakulo has his ult farmed up, and nice Black Dagger. He's gonna actually explode onto Lorio because he's so low. Oh, I see. DC.
GG, DLC.
The worst part about DCing like that is that, like, it looks like you're still playing because he's casting and he's like moving and casting, but you actually can get DC'd where you keep doing the same spell over and over. But anyway, Luke so low pops his parry, gets hit with a fire arrow, but did have Aegis to save himself there. Frost arrow and Black Dagger onto Lorio at the same time, and there's a slice and dice that's gonna finally kill off Luke the Legend. They didn't F1. And I didn't see exactly when Lorio started lagging out, so they might have actually just been not getting healed for like a lot of their HP.
If I were them, I wouldn't really complain though, because if I were Cold Team, I would have just killed them anyway. Not being BM or anything, right?
I mean, that is being BM. What are you talking about?
No, but you gotta play to win, dude. It's money. Come on now.
I mean, it's not that much money.
It's 100. It's not even 100.
It's gonna be way more money next time, hopefully.
Yeah.
It's already gonna be double.
You'll see what the BM strategies come out then.
Yeah, Luke spacing in, double kick, parry onto Crusacian. He's given Barry. He's already pretty low though, and he's pulled so much damage. Wind Strike and the M1's coming in, but Arborist is doing a good job of getting actually Nomad low. Just full M1s into Nomad, and Shadow Strike's gonna land on him. Slice and Dice as well. More M1s. He's just gonna get other sided, and that's just gonna leave Lorio out in the open, and he just has to use the EX. Nice EX to dodge that ult, but he still had the EX away from his teammate, or he made the decision to EX away from his teammate, and that leaves Nomad out in the open still, so he goes down. GG's already called.
I really liked how they played that last round. They just went in, dude. They went super aggressive.
Corey did get punished really hard,
yeah. But it was worth it because he had energy. Like, he was just trading and then won the trade in the end. That was crazy.
The big thing on that one for me was that, like, Iska never focused Nomad for the most part that entire game, and then after they had done so much damage to Corsation, Nomad had kind of just not been like, he wasn't paying attention to like the damage he was taking or what Iska was doing, because he's just so used to not getting focused, and he was just so focused on getting damage into Corsation that Iska just shot like 4 arrows, 4 M1s or something, just all in a row onto him, and then he just noticed he was really low and just popped his haste, kind of freaked out, and then after that was in a lot of trouble, had to get other sided. And that was when everything kind of went bad.
Yeah, it went really downhill from there, but it was a really close game, I have to say. Though the lag, you kind of wonder if it had a factor in that game, because Lorio was kind of walking into walls and shit with his awful internet, ghetto sauce shit.
I think Sweden does have, like, international free internet, right?
No idea.
I'm pretty sure, like, if you like sign up for it or something.
I bet he's like on that or something.
Yeah, I'm sure that's what he's on. What he's using. I think Clarny was using that too.
I don't know. It's just, yeah. That I don't even know how he plays and how he got so high, like, in the tournament with that much lag.
Yeah, people.
It's actually pretty impressive to me.
He doesn't. I mean, it's not like it's that often that it happens. And when it happens, it's pretty obvious that it's happening too. Unless unless it was like that second round where he was just standing in the corner healing and healing. It's different if you get lag right when you use your space ability, because you just space once and then you start walking into a wall. But if you use your M1 or your M2 and you start lagging, that you're just gonna keep M1ing, M2ing, M2ing, and people are just gonna think like you're still like alive.
And they'll just punish you. And the thing is they didn't even F1 the damage, so some of that damage was just true HP.
Well, that's what I'm wondering, is that, like, how fast or how much damage did they take between the time of him lagging? Like, how much real HP did they lose when he started lagging and when they noticed that he was DC'd? I didn't get to see that. It might have been a lot, though. But anyway,
Yeah.
let's...
Well, you have to calculate his teammates too, which is another thing because they were.
No, that's what I mean. Their
Yeah.
team as a whole, because they were definitely losing the fight. Like, the other team didn't take any damage during the lag. So, anyway, let's talk about second game.
All right. Cold team, dude. They switched it up right here.
Oh, you're right. He does play Harbinger.
And I'm actually really excited about that pick because I want to summit with his harp, so I have like really big expectations going into this.
Um, there is Warm Team on there on what we talked about last time.
Yeah.
Luke plays a lot of Seeker, but I think Strakulo plays an even bigger amount of Headhunter.
So it seems like and L'Oreal too on the Dryad, so they picked their mains basically.
Yeah, they switched.
So,
and
like,
they actually
Luke
played
plays
this comp. They played this comp against, like, in a mirror match. And they actually got stomped so hard, but the thing was that it was a Dryad versus a Pomp. And
yeah.
it was so much harder for the Dryad to live. But this time, I think, yeah, they should be fine. I don't know, because Harbinger is pretty good against Headhunter. Headhunter can't really punish a Harb so well. And it's not that a Harb can just, like, can kill a Headhunter really easily, but the Shadow Bolts definitely catch... Like, if they catch a Headhunter off guard, it's pretty devastating. And they're so long range, it doesn't matter how fast the Headhunter runs. The further away he is, the more damage he'll take from the Shadow Bolt, so...
Yeah, not only that, Seeker and Dryad arguably bad versus it too. Like, they're not... Like,
yeah,
I'd say
you're right,
Harb
actually.
is good versus all those heroes.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if I agree with the Headhunter. I feel like Headhunter and Harb are like equal.
I don't know if I'd say that.
I
Like,
feel like if they were to, like, in a one-on-one situation, I feel like it's pretty equal, but I don't know.
I mean, if you can't really focus a Harb as Headhunter, and you can't really ignore him either. If you ignore him, he's gonna throw a bunch of afflictions and Shadow Bolts and Blood Grips your way, and then another shift anyone you actually start getting some traction on. And if you try to 1v1 him, I think it's even worse. The affliction is going to be pretty easy to land.
Yeah, he's just going to throw it out.
You'll
there,
return
basically.
Heals.
Yeah.
Then
I mean,
you also have to
really
consider the Nether Strike as well versus Headhunter. He has nothing other than the leap. He has nothing to deal with that.
And also, Harb punishes his teammates so hard. Like, Seeker gets gripped and has trance and nothing.
I guess the other thing, though, is that Headhunter is really good against Alk and Seeker, though, so...
I wouldn't say Seeker.
No, it's good against... I mean, do you remember when Troll Tracker played against Archer Enemy?
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, I don't know if Strakulo is the same type of player as Troll Tracker.
Like, well, that's definitely, like, yeah, that's true, but... I mean, I'm just talking about the classes here. From what I've seen,
I personally don't think Seeker's worse than a Headhunter in any scenario. I think that Seeker,
I think it is if I guess if you're Troll Draki, I don't know. I guess my other thing though is if you're Troll Draki and you decided to play Ranid instead of Headhunter or Nomad instead of Headhunter, like I think anything you play is gonna look like the most OP shit. Like he's just way too mechanically good.
All right, when are we gonna start this shit?
All right, let's start.
You start first because I load way faster than you do.
3, 2, 1.
Cool.
And
Hopefully
once again on Well of Surgan.
Yeah, it's a weird bug. I think it might actually be a thing where if you vote one map, it's always the same one or something.
No, that's not the case. But Dubaku, I'm pretty sure, like, if you upvote Dubaku, it's like it counts as 2 votes or something. Like if 2 teams upvote Dubaku, it's like 100% Dubaku. It's weird. Anyway, Precision getting Ice Arrowed, pops his Nether Shift pretty early while Strakulo moves into Super Arn, And he's actually giving Dryad Aegis, pushes super back. There's a nice amp onto Arborist, while Luke and Crustacean 1v1. Crustacean going for a swap now that he has his ult, and he's just going to pop it immediately. L'Oreal with a nice EX, though, to knock him away. Blood Grip onto Luke, forces his trance, and he just immediately swaps onto L'Oreal. Now he's trying to go back onto Luke, knowing he has no chance. Goes up for the Shadow Bolt. Huge explosion from that Deadly Inject. Strakulo just giving his teammate a weaken and explosion, giving him the AIDS.
And 2 Frost Shards too, not only that.
Was that double
Yep.
Frost Shard?
Double Frost Shard in Ice Arrow.
Oh, I see.
So
Okay.
that was a GG.
Yeah.
That was a really fast round.
Crustacean. Oh, there's a 2v2 starts, but
That's too late. Yeah,
last
they don't
time a
have-
2v2 started, by the way.
Yeah.
Like, it was a real 2v2, not like this. A real 2v2
we
started, and we
gave up
didn't
on them.
we didn't even notice. We were just talking about the round, like it was just taking them a really long time to get the kill. That was really bad. That's what made me decide not to post that one to Reddit, honestly. It was that and your BM at the beginning. But the thing about that last round anyway was Crustacean, he forced the trance, swapped to L'Oreal, or like he pretended he was damaging Luke, swapped to L'Oreal, and then when he saw the trance, swapped back to Luke. It was actually really well done. Anyway, Luke popped his trance really early, and actually Wisp immobilized and weakened onto Crustacean, so he's not off to a good start. Still distracting Luke, but he's taking so much damage. Takes an Earth Arrow, does get the rune. Spaces towards L'Oreal. Nice double Lightning Arrow coming out from Arborist there. But the Wisp is going to heal him back up. Blood Grip onto L'Oreal after he uses his Wisp. Double Frost as well. Shadow Curse onto L'Oreal, and he's just chased down by
He's
Crustacean.
dead. He's just dead.
Yeah, he popped his Wisp. And I guess he got his flute cancelled, as you can see him sort of rage typing out right now.
Why did you cancel?
I
my
love
flute?
their team. I honestly love Worm Team. Like, all throughout the tournament, it's just like them arguing with each other, and just like so many problems happening. But they're still going so far into the tournament. But
It's like
L'Oreal,
S&M
anytime
chat.
anything bad happens, he's so mean. Like, it's so funny. He doesn't care that he's BMing his own team.
He actually reminds me of me. Like,
No, like he's funnier. I don't know. Like
Shut
you actually, I think you're like mad. Like, I don't know. He's so funny to me. But okay, Blood Grip onto Luke. He's in the middle. 2 trances pop. No one's hitting him, but there's Deadly Inject for Luke, and no amp returned onto Arborist. And Aegis handed out to Luke. He's so low, gonna get hit by a meteor as well. Trying to shoot arrows, and he just takes 1 arrow to the back right there from Arb. Double Reap, and the meteor actually doesn't hit either of them. They're slightly too far away from each other.
see, that's what I was expecting from this harp, is what I'm gonna say. Frost Shard, Trance, like.
He's the full Surgen's Frost Shard. I
Yeah.
mean, Meteor Frost Shard, you could say maybe is a little bit more countery to the Seeker, but
Yeah.
Surgen's Frost Shard helps him kill the Dryad a lot better. Because it is pretty hard to land meteors, and even if you do land meteors, like, it's hard to land impactful meteors onto a Dryad as a Harbinger. But if you
Yeah.
pop that Surgens, you can just catch right up to him.
Again, I don't know about the Switch almost. You know what I mean? It reminds me of the Crazy LT game.
I'm not sure who picked what first. I think Crustacean might have picked Harb first, but Luca and Strakulo love doing Seeker HH, so they might have just picked that anyway into it. But anyway, Arborist popping his trance, and Strakulo's going to try to go for him, gets Frost Sharded though. Wisp coming through, doesn't immobilize Arb. That would have been really bad for him, but he ends up being alright. Crustacean though, caught in between a Wisp, a Dryad, and a Seeker, he gets put really low. Lightning Arrow right out of that Nether Shift. He's given barrier though. Strakulo wants to hunt him down, and nice meteor and fire arrow onto Luke though. Frost arrow onto Arb, so he will be CC'd up. He's gonna get broken out with a weaken right there. Strakulo is in the goo, gets deadly injected after he used his Slayer Rush, so he can't dispel it. Did have Aegis though, so he doesn't take too much damage. Single ult coming out from L'Oreal while Luke and Crustacean are 1v1ing, but Crustacean has his ult still so low though, getting double spaced, and if it was the old double space, he actually would have just died from that, but it's the new one, so he was given time to space out, but still dies.
Rip double space, dude.
Yeah.
Thank goodness.
Shadow Lords tells me, and I'm convinced now, even though I disagreed at first, that double Earth Arrow is the more OP thing anyway. Double space is absurd though. It was so absurd. Just instant cast,
Oh,
Double instant stun. Like as
false
an
start.
alchemist, there's nothing, huh?
False start right there.
Oh yeah. Okay, it's fine. It looks like it's fine. PlayStation might get the rune. Yeah, I'll get the rune for that false start anyway. So ends up being favorable. Qursation spacing towards Lorio gets a nice affliction. Meteor knocks Lorio away from the blood grip, which actually might have been much more deadly than the meteor. But Qursation still has an ult farmed up. He's so low, but it actually doesn't matter. He finds Luke the Legend in his trance after he got the stealth off. And he's just doing so much M1 damage. As soon as he loses his ult, just spaces away. Goes for a Shadow Bolt. Luke gets a free trance off of that, and he's just trying to fight his way back into this game. But I just don't think Luke's landing nearly enough arrows. He's just missing a lot of stuff. And he gets a nice double frost arrow as soon as I say that. Is hit up with the ult, and how do they find that Seeker right there? I don't know what Strakulo did, but it was kind of off my screen.
I don't know. That was crazy, dude.
The double frost, it was a frost onto Alk and onto Seeker, so that's definitely the start you want for a kill onto the Seeker, because you just you get time to set up on him, and the Alk can't do anything as long as you don't break him. So
And the CC is literally an hour long. So
yeah, it's 2.4 seconds, something like that. It's about
it's like
2.5
one of the
seconds.
longest
So
in
yeah,
the game.
I think it is the longest in the game. Anyway,
Probably.
Arbor's trancing towards the rune, has to space back, has double cast space right now, so he spaces towards the rune once again to get it. But he gets hit by the fire arrow, and he's so low. Frost Shard, Meteor onto Strakulo, and he spaces off that Frost Shard. Still gets hit by the Meteor, but now he's getting a nice Twin Death start onto Arbor. Still going to get double Earth Arrow, I believe, to force him off. Qursation does have ult while he's getting focused here, given a barrier, so he's basically invulnerable. Goo coming out, almost killing Lorio, and actually Lorio's still in a lot of trouble. Going to get another shifted 3 M1s, a blood grip, and then a 4th M1 finish him off. And unless they can kill Qursation here, it doesn't look like they can.
These rounds are going really fast.
Yeah, 4-2. This is what I mean. Okay, that other game we casted, I really wish the audio problems weren't there on that one, because that game was insane how fast
It was a
went.
bloodbath, basically. It was just a spank.
It was Seeker, Headhunter, Mirror, and it was actually, yeah, it was a spank. It was 5-0.
Probably one of the most impressive spanks in the whole tournament.
Well, it was, I think, kind of a comp issue, but anyway, Strakulo has a decent in now. He's going to push Qursation in the middle, and he's getting a nice 1v1 off on him. Even a double twin death and another leap back in, has the ult, and he's just going to throw it out. Actually cancels it to get a trance, but Qursation was in another shift at that moment, so no chance of that trance landing. Arbor's barely spacing out of that frost arrow, which might have been really bad, and actually Luke is going to find Qursation as he spaces back in. That was amazing by Strakulo.
That was the biggest combo, and he needed to do that. Like, I think he should try to do that next round.
Well, I don't know if he can, because I mean, Qursation has to be more like. But that's the thing that always happens in DLC. It's like you never go for that guy, and then you just go for him once randomly,
and it works.
Yeah, he's not thinking about it at all.
It kind of makes you think like it's the right play to just tunnel him.
Oh yeah, that's true. So like, if he does try it again, then he might be actually making a mistake. What he should do is fake it, like pretend he's trying to go for this guy again, make him commit a lot of cooldowns, and then just immediately swap him to the Seeker or something, or onto the Alk.
He should be on the Alk more.
Yeah, that's the other thing. He should be riding that Alk a lot harder, I think. But Strakulo and Luke like to play together, and he would have to abandon his Seeker, I think. Anyway, Trance already a bad start, like not used, but he does space back. Strakulo's gonna actually knock Qursation and Arbor's away. Nice frost there onto Arbor's Trance there, and they're actually just having Seeker space wars right here on each other. Strakulo now finally riding the Alk. He can hear us back in time. Pretty amazing stuff here. He's not winning it as well as you would want him to, though, and actually Luke is going to get ulted, amped up as well. He's standing in the goo and actually just goes down. That was a nice double frost arrow, but it ended up being
collapse.
Yeah, that was a very amazing collapse. I don't know how he got killed, though. I don't know what finished him off. It was like...
Was it the dot from the ult?
No, no, I think the ult already exploded, and then he got shadow bolted, I think. And then he died to something. He wasn't in the goo, so I think he might have just died to like Seeker arrows, Seeker M1s. Those are really hard to see.
That's really crazy that this game was only 10 minutes long and it's 5-3.
Yeah.
That's what I find. Like these rounds were just super fast.
I wish it would tell
Almost,
you how long a round lasted, because then we could look at them all.
well, you can like divide the rounds in minutes
Yeah.
from the
Yeah, that's
game
true.
time, and but it
That
would be
takes
an
too much
average.
brain thought, though.
We're U.S.
That's too
players. We don't
smart
need
of a
that.
solution, Harmfui.
U.S. players don't need that shit. We just need space bars and people that can't escape. That's what we need.
Oh, he's so salty. He lost to a random Astro in a tournament as a
Let's
Dryad player,
not
and he just got
let's
spaced
not
on and spaced on and spaced on.
let's not talk about that.
His igniter was doing so well at the start too. That was a pretty.
We both kind of went in the dumpster together though. We both just jumped into it.
I'm probably just gonna like export that to my YouTube, that game, so people can watch it.
Okay.
I'll call it. You're not even mad. You're just like,
No.
yeah, let's do
Oh,
it.
oh, that game. No, fuck you.
Oh,
I thought you were talking about this. I'm like,
you
sure,
thought I
whatever.
like ended the video or something? No, I'm
Don't
gonna
upload
export
that
that
video,
game for my
dude.
Twitch, dude.
I don't want
I'm gonna
footage
call
on
it
TikTok.
harmfully put in the dumpster or something like that.
Dude, I was put in the deepest dumpster in the whole USA.
Yeah, dog shit player harmfully put in the dumpster.
This is why Clarny plays Pomp, dude. He found his way in the end.
He plays Pomp with Headhunter. That's so scary. Like Headhunter Pomp is so annoying.
I almost think Lorio might, if he picked Pomp, that their comp might have been even better than what they had.
Yeah, Harb isn't like a great Pomp killer or anything.
No, like he can't do anything to a Pomp. It's just like it's the same thing as Headhunter versus Pomp. Just
The interrupt from Pomp is actually really strong against Headhunter or uh, Harbinger as well, because a lot of his casts have a long cast time, and
yeah,
he's also a hero that really requires his full kit. There's some heroes that like if you I keep saying hero, there's some bloodlines that if you get interrupted on one thing, it's like fine. It's like, oh, it's like it's basically good that I let that get interrupted so that I can start casting this other spell like right away. But I think with Harb, like you do need to be able to do everything
it's
pretty
like Engineer,
smoothly.
dude. You don't want your conks to be interrupted.
Yeah, there's a few spells that like if that's interrupted, it's pretty devastating. Engineer is actually a good example of that.
Yeah, most of his moves are slow and kind of
And
if
it's like
they're interrupted, it's
it's a
over.
really big deal to get it off. Like you really need to land it.
Yeah, it's like Secret Earth Arrow, like every ability, you just need to land it 100% of the time. Like
Oh, do you know what
that's
I didn't do, by the way?
what
And yeah, I do agree with that Earth Hero thing, but I didn't change the score again. So
it's too
that's
complicated, dude. You should have an
that's
automated
yeah, I
make
know.
some
I wish there.
automated thing.
I just need to. I don't know. I need to bind it to where like it does something like if I just hit a button, it just puts it to map two, and then if I hit another button, it adds like a point to like it increases it from 0 to 1 for one of the teams.
Oh, so you just have like like scripts
It'd
basically
have to be
to
three
change it.
scripts because I'd be able to
Okay.
add a point to this team, add a point to that team.
And also you might want to make a minus point just in case you screw it up.
No, no, it wouldn't be a minus point. Probably just be like a reset all of them at the same time.
Okay, yeah, that's good.
Yeah,
Yeah, that
I
was
don't know how
the.
to go about doing any of that though, so that's unfortunate.
We'll find out next tournament when it's too late halfway
Nope,
through the
I'm gonna be
bracket.
manually doing it. I guarantee you. And forgetting like this. All right. Anyway, I think we cut this one now. Already up to 39 minutes. Nice.
For like literally 10 minute, 2 10-minute games.
Yeah. Okay. End video. End.